Good morning, racers. I'm meteorologist Chris Bedford. This is your weather briefing for day 2 of the Verve Cup Offshore Regatta. I thought I'd start out today by looking at that thunderstorm that came through about midday yesterday and kind of messed up the day of sailing. And this is the radar image from Chicago about 10 o'clock yesterday morning. You can see we didn't have rain at that time over the city or the lakeshore. There were some showers out to the west and southwest, and some, moderate to heavy showers embedded in there. At this time, there was no lightning. As that line or area moved east during the morning, it actually weakened a little bit, and then as it approached the city, it suddenly very rapidly started to intensify within a matter of 15-20 minutes. And here we are at just after 11 o'clock, and you can see this cell right here, which is intensifying quite quickly. And at this point, just about this time is when we started to get the first lightning out of the system, and the rain just arriving at the lakeshore. And you can see that cell intensified as it moved offshore, and this is where it really started to get hot with quite a bit of lightning, and then it moved out into the lake, and we were left with just some remnant rain after that through about noon and into the early afternoon. So unfortunately, as the timing of that system was such that it pretty much messed up the wind field for the day, and even the afternoon wasn't particularly useful even after that cell went by. Today, hoping for a little bit better scenario. As you know, just like we saw yesterday, the weather can change quickly, so it's important to stay on top of the weather all the time. Right now, the forecast does not call for any thunderstorms in the area. There are some thunderstorms this morning out to the east, but they should stay away. However, we do have a risk of some showers. There'll be some lingering showers this morning, then a break, and then perhaps some more showers this afternoon. But again, it doesn't look like anything will develop significantly or even into thunderstorms. This is the outlook for tomorrow. Looks like a much better day as high pressure dominates. On the surface weather chart this morning, we see the culprit, low pressure over the lower peninsula of Michigan, with a cold front that's just gone through Chicago in the past couple of hours. Wind is in the process of shifting from southwest to a more westerly direction, and out to the east, although it's just off the out to the west, just off the chart here, is area of high pressure. So today's winds will be dominated by the transition of the flow from the prefrontal southwesterly into more of a west to northwest gradient, and actually that veers around as the day goes on, and we'll talk a little bit more about that shortly. This is the satellite picture for this morning, so you can see the colored cloud tops, or the colder cloud tops. That's out where most of the thunderstorm action is. We have some lower clouds sticking around across the area, and as I said, a few minor showers are occurring, especially up to the north in Wisconsin, and a few out to the west of Chicago. But most of the action is heavier action now has moved out to the east, and whatever we get today, if anything, should be light and non-lightning producing. Forecast for midday shows the low moving into Lake Huron, lingering trough line extending up to the northwest to another low up in western Ontario, high pressure out to the west, and this is if you look at the isobar flow pattern and imagine the circulation around this low, the wind should be coming in more from the northwest and even trending around to the north as we get into the afternoon. And this is the forecast for this evening. That low's out in southeast Ontario. You can see the high finally on the chart out to the west, and again we're in more of a northerly gradient flow, and that actually is likely to veer around even into a northeast flow on the lakefront this afternoon. Rainfall forecast, this is as of 10 a.m. and this is the previous 3 hours rainfall forecast. You see heavier stuff in those showers up across Wisconsin, and then the thunderstorms out to the east in Michigan. Just very light possibilities of rain through this morning, and again, those would be more hit and miss shower type cells. Going into early afternoon, it looks like we get a bit of a break at that time, and then later afternoon, some more showers may develop across northern Illinois and even southern Lake Michigan, and those could move down toward the course area. Again, I'm not expecting anything significant, more just of a nuisance type of rain. So looking at the wind field forecast for today, this is as of 10 a.m. We have basically a westerly flow across Chicago. If you look up to the north here, though, you can see the wind barbs starting to shift around and indicate a more northwest flow. And this should be a decent breeze, probably averaging around 10 knots. It's an offshore wind, so it'll be a bit turbulent coming off the city front with lulls down to around 5 or 6, but then we could also see some puffs up toward 15. As we get into early afternoon, that wind really starts to veer around, and in fact we have the wind going northwest, maybe even north-northwest, just up into the northern course area by this time. And that right-shifted wind will fill down the shoreline to the south course in the early afternoon. And there may be a brief puff as it does that initial right shift, and then the breeze should back off a little bit through the afternoon as it continues to veer around. This is the forecast for 4 p.m. You can see winds are lighter now, probably around sort of 5 to 9 knot range, and have veered around to the east-northeast. So kind of a transition day, starting out with a light moderate westerly, bit gusty, puffy, and unstable. Veering around to the northwest early afternoon, the northwest and north early afternoon, and then easing through the latter part of the day and veering around into the northeast. For tomorrow, the weather looks a lot better. That front will be well out to the east, and the high pressure continuing to build in from the west, so fair weather is expected tomorrow with no rain and some very pleasant temperatures, a little lower humidity. The winds will be basically reflecting the flow around the high pressure in the morning, so we'll have an offshore northwest breeze in the morning, not particularly strong, probably 4 to 8 knots, a bit stronger out further offshore into the lake. And then that wind, because of the heating over the land, that wind will diminish, and I'm expecting us to veer around into a lake breeze, so a northeast lake breeze trending more east and southeast as the afternoon goes on. There may very well be a calm or light and variable period late morning to midday while the wind makes this transition. So a two-part day, a bit of a northwesterly in the morning, marginally sailable, a lull in the middle of the day, and then a building east-northeast wind veering around to the southeast, and probably building up to around 10 knots later afternoon on Sunday. So everyone have a great race, or a great day of racing, and we'll be back here tomorrow with the update. Good luck.